Hello, 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 my darlings. Thank you for joining me on A Slice of Life, A Slice of Life. Did you have a great weekend? I did. Today is August the 18th, 2025, and it's somebody's birthday. It's Lawrence Blinky Walden's birthday. And there were a lot of Leo's birthdays this weekend. It was Reginald Dye and Oliver Hudson and Shelley Webster and the rest of my fabulous Leos. You know, we are the fabulous sun sign. What can you do without the sun? Not a whole lot, and that's why you have us. Happy birthday, babies. In the meantime, in between time, I received my AARP. Let me show you AARP. AARP, and has Jamie Curtis on the cover. I think she's doing a movie or something today. In fact, well, she looks great. She looks great, and so do we. Do you remember the first time you got your AARP card? I had an attitude. I'm like, why are they writing me? I'm not AARP. And what was it? They give it started at 40 something. Anyway, I was like, not me. And then, and so I still have the same attitude. I'm not AARP. And then one day I said something about somebody being old, and I said, Georgianne, you 83, okay? Do you know how old 83 is? I just don't think about it. People, I'm telling you, that I don't even get into the number thing. I don't like even saying it sometimes, but I say it because that's my age. I don't hide it. I'm 83 all day, you see. But sometimes it can be annoying to me because I'm thinking about the other person on the other end has all kind of thoughts as soon as I say 80. So if I was saying 70, okay, but 80 turned out. But anyway, it doesn't matter because I can't do anything about it. August 2nd, 1942. Hey, that's the way it is. But here's the good thing about this show. What do I say all the time? We're getting what? We're getting older. But baby, we're not getting old. So I looked in the AARP, and something caught my eye. It may not be the best thing, the best idea, but it did catch my eye. And so when something catches my eye, I know somebody on the other side of the screen that needs to have this information. And it says, how almost dying taught me how to live. How almost dying taught me how to live. And I was thinking, you know what? When I first started doing this show, one of the thoughts I had in my mind was that there are people who were told, who somebody on some day will hear the words, you have cancer, 3 words. And I want people to know that anybody that tells you that, for whatever reason, whatever cancer, you can't do anything about it but live with it. That's all. You say, and you say, okay. It's not easy to say, okay, because I cried on my first one, and now I'm 3 cancers in. You see, 3 cancers in with all kind of crazy stuff going on all the time. But what it does for me, it gives me that push I need to keep living, to keep reaching, to keep hoping, and keep doing things. It actually, cancer has been my catalyst. Let me say that again. For the people in the back, cancer has been my catalyst. You heard me say that on some, I've done over 1,000 videos. So on some videos, I've said that before, but that's a lot of videos to go back and find. So I'm going to say it again. I'm going to be like Myron Go to repeat. Cancer has been my catalyst. It's made me get up. Every time they say something to me, I go and do something else. I write something else. I think of something else. I play something else. I compose something else. I create something else. That just does that. It said, oh, well, this is going on. And I'll say, oh, well, I need to do this. You see, you can't let it just wear you out, because it will wear you out. And this person, let me see, this is by Jonathan Cluck. He says, I've been fighting an incurable illness for more than 20 years. He's been fighting an incurable illness for more than 20 years. Let me say that again. He has been fighting an incurable. Let's just start with the word incurable. When they tell you incurable, most people just say, I gotta go. I'm just gonna go on. And they go on and beat the doctor, putting them in the coffin. He says, but he's been fighting it for how many years? For the people in the back, 20. He has never given up. They told him his disease was incurable, and he was not going to make it. He had the kind of cancer that was not going to make it, but he's been here 20 years. And it reminds me of Joel Osteen's mom. And she's been here 25 years. 25 years since they told her how many years. This man, he had 3 years, I think. And then the gentleman told me, what year was it? I don't know. I had counted it up, and he said 2020. I said, I'm not gonna make it past 2023 at the time he gave me like 2.5 years or something like that. And so you just have to keep going. And when you hear things like that, you just say, I mean, it's a downer. You think I didn't cry about it? And what was I crying about? I wasn't crying so much about knowing you're gonna go, because I'm at peace with that. But just hearing it, just hearing that there was no way out. There was no answer. And that wasn't anything anybody could do but just let me live. And so I went and told my oncologist what the surgeon said. He says, nobody can tell you how long or how you're going to be on earth. I'd rather he had said statistically, but who knows? But he just came out with this was going to happen. This what had happened was. And I was like, wow. It was not easy. It's not easy. And so when I this is as far as I got in the magazine, because it resonates with me. It stays with me. It means a lot to me. How almost dying taught me how to live, because I don't know that I had let me see, at age 77 I had done my one-woman show, but I did my one-woman show in celebration of my 2 cancers. And so once again, cancer was my catalyst. And not knowing that the 3rd cancer was going on while the 2 were being celebrated, the 3rd one was going on in my body. I had no idea. And so, when you hear something, don't give up on whatever it is. I don't know to whom I'm speaking today on a Monday, and I don't mean to be starting the week off as a downer. I'm hoping to start it as something good, something great, something wonderful for you to think about, something motivational for you to hold on to, because besides God's unchanging hand, you got to hold on in your mind and say, I can do this, whatever it is, whatever they say is not going to happen, or you can't do it, and you turn around and say, yes, I can. I think President Obama had that yes, I can spirit, and I want you to have the same kind of spirit, a yes, I can spirit. Yes, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about what's going on. It's what you think about it. It's mind over matter, which really sounds very trite when you say it. People say it all the time, mind over matter. What does it really mean? But it really means just that. And as trite as it may sound, it's very important for you to understand that it is mind over matter. And you must make up your mind over stuff that doesn't matter. You have to make up your mind that it does matter if you do it this way. You have to make up your mind. There's all kind of ways to look at that mind over matter statement. I'm asking you to look at it as a motivational tool. I'm asking you to look at it as a way to pull yourself up and say, hey, I can do this. I can make things better for me. My mind over matter says that. And that is why I especially like this article. Once again, the gentleman who wrote the article is Jonathan Gluck. He was a young man at the time, and so he's older now, but the fact that he heard this at a young age, I heard mine at 50. My first one was in my 50s. The first cancer was in my 50s, and the last one was in my 70s, and so I'm 83 now. But you gotta have a made-up mind. I tell you that all the time. And when I get something like this, or if I see something in a magazine, I remind myself that one of the things I wanted to always do, I always want to be the champion for anyone who has heard that they had cancer, that I'm the champion, that I'm the voice, that I'm the face, that I'm the poster child, because I want you to know it's going to be all right, and you can stand up and still do things you want to do. You can still create. Let me tell you something about those of us who have used a calamity to help us move into more creativity. There are people who don't have calamities, that don't have any lamentations, don't have anything going on with them. They're fine and healthy and not creating whatsoever, not following God's will whatsoever. And so to them, we say, hey, you need to come over here with us. Or do you need a calamity to get creative? What is it? I don't wish anything bad on anybody. We certainly don't do that. I'm not even supporting that. I was just, I shouldn't even make a joke about it. But I am saying that those of us who have had some challenges, then we tend to be more inclined to do a little bit more, have a little bit more, and push ourselves a little further than those who are just rolling along, happy-go-lucky. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. And then the I'll be all right day comes along, and they don't have that. They don't have that incentive. Rather, they may not have the same incentive to move forward. Then it might click in like this gentleman said, how almost dying taught me how to live. Because life will teach you how to live. You saw what I wrote on the back, how on the top of this, you saw how bad things teach life lessons is what my subject, my second subject. Do you see what I wrote at the top? Because that came to me. How bad things teaches life's lessons. How many of you learned some life lessons that from bad things? I hope all your hands went up. Everybody's hand on the other side of the screen. You know, you can say, oh my God, yes. I mean, we're going to have church here in a minute, because also I know there's some bad stuff. If you lived anywhere on this earth from 45, 55, 65, and 75, you done had some stuff happen. You have had something happen that you didn't like, or something happened, and you had to sit back and ask yourself, what the what? But it did happen. And it gave you that plus, that extra something you need. You need to say, oh, it won't happen anymore. Have you ever, rise up? Is that a song like that? Rise up. From Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton. I think it's a rise up. Yeah, we have to rise up, people. And right now, with all that's going on in the world, we cannot, any of us, afford to not be on the rising up stage of life, on the awareness stage of life, because we got to keep up with what's going on. Because before, there's an erasure going on. There's an erasure. We see it every day. How many of you all look for Tamron today? Did y'all look for her on the regular station? I knew not to look for her. I wasn't sure where to look, and my daughter reminded me. Did y'all look for Beyond the Gates? You look for Beyond the Gates, and you look for Tamron in the regular spot, but not in those spots anymore in Atlanta. They're on another spot, the whole nother station. Have you looked? Have you been paying attention to the erasure? It's an erasure going on. It's subtle, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little of this, a little of that. But one thing I do know, let me see how you're going to erase the football season. I'm just saying, football season coming. And when football season come, what had happened was, So, but when you look at it though, unfortunately, there's a book that talks about the $40 million slave. How many of you know that book about the people who play sports and how they are moved around from place to place? Could be from plantation to plantation. I didn't say that. But it's been inferred in other people's conversations, not in my conversation, but I have heard people say, the people who play sports and they make a lot of money and they entertain. That's good when we entertain. I think you don't have any problems. You don't want to erase the entertainers, because who's going to entertain the masses? Got to have somebody entertain the masses. And so we have to, so the entertainers will be all right. I don't think it's going to be much erasure there, because we need entertainment. Because the sports is wonderful and everyone watches it, and I enjoy people being excited about their particular teams. But I just like to know, is everybody benefiting? Who's really benefiting? Who's really profiting from it? Are you benefiting from it? Have you figured out a way to profit from it? Are you one of those people that, is it Myron Golden? He talks about, I like the way he says, when you talk about my team this and your team that, and you struggle, you're on the struggle bus. You're trying to get money together to go to a game. So, he's saying, Myron Golden is saying, well, what part of the game are you in? I mean, what do you own? What are you receiving? What do you have on the side? Or do you have a food truck out there with your people? I just can go on and on, but I'm not going to do that because I have digressed and moved way away from where I started. But I get to talking about what I think is good for us as a people, and I get caught up in it because I want us to do well, and I see what's going on all across the country. I see this erasure, and then I hear people, everybody, people having to hear that they have cancer in the midst of all the trouble that's going on. Then you got that on top of it. That's hard to swallow. That's difficult. But I don't want you to get off the trail, people. I don't want you to get off the journey. I want you to stay on the journey with me. What did I tell you? Look good, feel good, and smell good. Now let me tell you about this fabulous dress I have on. Look at this. Fabulous. I didn't know how fabulous it was until my daughter told me today. She said, Mama, what you got on? You got on some kind of African something. She said, what's, I mean, and I was like, you know what? I had this dress in a bag to give to the Salvation Army. I said, I don't want to wear that dress anymore. I just something about it, because this wasn't fitting right. And so, but when she saw when she saw all that, she said, Mom, look at it. It's got royalty. It's African. I was like, you know what? It is African. It is. It's like something that we would have on. I was thinking, like, you know what? I am so glad that I keep my things and that it falls right in line to who I want to be. If I'm not that, I mean, I can't call myself, I can call myself an African queen, but, and you can say queen. I love it when brothers say, hey, queen. I go, oh, it just, I rise right up, you see. But my whole thing is that it would be nice to know some of my lineage. I got some of it back to Benin, back to Benin, Cotonou specifically, only because that's where I've been in Benin, but it could be other places, so anywhere in West Africa, because we don't know until we get there. I have gone all the way off subject, but back to how Almost Dan taught me to live. Baby, whatever it is that teaches you to live, use it. Live. Don't let anybody stop you from living. Live the life you are supposed to have. And all I read and see and hear, that life is a good life. Those of you who read the Bible, or maybe you read something else, none of the sacred books have anywhere in them, and I'm gonna have to ask, but I think I'm right, that says that you're supposed to live poorly, downtrodden, and be without. None of them say that. And why are you living downtrodden, without? You see people, go help those people. Go reach out and get, I just wish we could just reach out and get all the unhoused and just take them somewhere and have a talk and ask them what happened. There's no difference between an unhoused person and you and me. Human beings, that's what we are. But the difference is, and the human part of it, but the difference is here. This is the difference. And this is why this man's been doing this for 20 years. And he did it the same way I'm doing it. It's got to be here. You got to tell yourself, I don't care. I got up this morning. When I tell you I could barely get out of bed. I could barely get out of bed. I sat there a long time and said, you got to get out of bed. And then I told my daughter, I said, just make me some tea, please. The tea will get me going. As soon as I start getting tea and start talking to myself, I said, Georgianne, you got too much to do. Y'all know school starts Wednesday, Clark, Atlanta. All my friends, I took a space. I held my breath because everybody on the other side of the screen is already saying, and she don't have nothing ready. She don't have not one thing ready, and I don't. Now this time I'm gonna put it on Clark, Atlanta, and I'm gonna say they haven't found my computer that I turned in, and then you're gonna say, girl, stop, because all that work is in the cloud. You just go get on any computer and pull it down. Correct. It's just I want that computer. I laugh at myself. I love teaching. I do. But I got something for them. I got a song for them you all never heard. I'm going to tell you about it. I'm not going to tell you now because I wanted to be a surprise for everybody. But you know, I open my classes with music, with a song, something deep for them to go into and get some revelation on. Now, you know these kids all go to AI for everything. That's another story. What do I want you to do? I want you to do this. I want you to live. Georgianne wants you to live. God wants you to live. We all want you to live. I want you to live. Whatever that is, live. The school has started. Gigi's school has started. All the elementary schools, the school system, the public school system, and I think we're the last group to get started. The colleges. Oh no, because my daughter went to Northwestern and for undergrad, and that group is the last group. Oh, they follow what we used to do when I was growing up. When I was growing up, nobody ever heard of going to school before Labor Day, ever. Never, ever, ever, ever. And so I think the up north schools still do the same thing, and the universities and colleges operate like they're